Welcome to my first painting update of 2022. This update covers everything I painted in January, and as you can probably tell, everything I painted in January was connected to Aztecs. My Aztec army is finished now, although it's not all shown here. I did 3 units in December last year, so they were in my last painting update, and so February will be full of conquistadors instead of Aztecs. Okay, let's get into it then. I'll start at the front and work back, I think, to clear a bit of space as we go. So at the front here there are 3 units of veteran Aztec warriors. Let's get a closer look. These are quite heavy. So these are all metal. They're from Foundry and they're sculpted by Joseph Ockman. I put 10 on a base because they represent a huge number of Aztecs. This army's been prepared for 1 hour war games by Neil Thomas, which is essentially element based, so each element represents a fighting force, an effective fighting force, and in the case of the Aztecs that would be several hundred men. But so there we go, one of those. So there's 3 of these in total, and every miniature is different. There is a nice selection in Foundry of experienced or veteran warriors. The second one, let's stick them over to the side. And the last one, which I can't see because my tripod's in the way. Here we go. Okay, and the last one. So that's 30 experienced Aztec warriors with a selection of weapons. Next we have my Aztec Knights. Again, these are Foundry miniatures. So these are, each base here has 9 miniatures, and they're a mixture of Eagle Knights and Jaguar Knights. The Eagle Knights are all individual. Jaguar Knights are three groups of 6. So there are duplicates, but not on the same base. So one of those. Heavy. There we go. Had a lot of fun doing the shields. These were remarkably quick to paint, considering they look really quite complex. But actually, just because they're in a bodysuit, it doesn't take very long to get them done. And then the last bit is always getting the shields finished and coming up with some shield designs. I used a couple of Osprey books and a very nice painting guide from Navoir Miniatures, which I got nearly 30 years ago. Okay, so those are my Aztec Knights. Then the last of the actual miniatures are the commanders. Here we have Montezuma himself with a couple of attendants in splendid banners, and a general with a hornblower for giving orders, and lastly a religious base of a priest and a sacrifice group with a freshly removed heart for a bit of moral encouragement. And finally, to give the battlefield a bit of an Aztec feel, I did some scatter terrain, which unfortunately is kind of in ruins when, of course, it should actually be in its heyday, but nonetheless. The first two pieces are aquarium pieces. There's one there. They're very light. They're made of resin, hollow resin. I filled a couple of holes in them because they're meant to have fish swimming through them. But very nice, I think. Usable for other stuff too. I mean, they'll turn up in many fantasy games. Then there's this one. This one needed a bit more filling. I've filled in with some rocks and stuff, but I left the hole in his head because it didn't seem to matter. There we go. So quite fearsome. Let's get a quite large. So 2 aquarium pieces. They're about £12 each. Got mine from Amazon. You can get them from anywhere. And then these pieces here. These are from Scotia Grendel. So these are resin, kind of proper, war game resin. So quite a bit heavier. In fact, this is heavier than this by quite a way. So an altar, some statues. They come as a little pack. I've based these on these are all based on Sintra board, foamed PVC, no warping, nothing like that. And then lastly, for the scenery piece, got this altar which is oversize, and this was bought back from Mexico for me by a friend of mine, Grant, in the mid-90s. And it's taken me up to now to actually use it. Well, there we go. That's it for January. 80 miniatures and pieces of scenery. So quite a good start for the year. As always, thank you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment. Comments are the best things, I think. Okay, I'll see you next time.